Hey guys, Michael Baugh here with Arkansas Extreme Outdoors. And today I've got my cousin Sonny McCumpsey here. And I wanted to have him get on here and let's talk about our deer season. And last year's deer season. And the year before that. Last 3 or 4 years we're going to kill some really nice deer. So basically what I want to do is I want him to tell me his deer story. And if you've had a bad season and you couldn't really figure them out or whatever, or if you had a good season, you might pick up something from this. But just basically to help you get some pointers and tips. Not that we know everything, but you might learn something. Who knows? I mean, you never know. So start off with this past season. He was a long ways back in the woods. Mm-hmm. But let me back up and say, he used to hunt in a deer camp, like myself. And I spent
all our life we did.
All our life. We was raised up down south.
Down south.
A ton of deer.
Killed deer all the time.
And we both kind of went away from that, and we started killing bigger deer. So
yeah, I did.
He's not figured these mountain deer out, the big woods deer. So if you've not hunted big woods, this is you might learn something from what he's got. And I even went up there with him and killed a pretty nice 5.5-year-old acorn. But what I want to focus on is the deer he's killed the last couple of years. Go up there at the right time of the year to start with.
Yep, that's what I do. I'm going during the black powder season, and I'm doing a lot of recon. I have a lot of cameras. You know, I spend a lot of time doing this. It's not as easy as being in a deer camp with box stands. You don't have that luxury. So I'm checking everything, and what I do is I try to hunt, you know, different spots a lot. I don't go back to the same spot. I don't have a spot. I pick different trees out. But I don't go check my game cameras unless I'm going to hunt that area. So I don't go in.
How many cameras you got out? How many cameras do you normally run?
I run about 12. And I'll go ahead and tell you, I hunted in Washita National Forest.
So did you have a picture of the deer?
I had a picture of the deer I killed.
Before you killed him?
Before I killed him, he was a mile away from where I killed him. I didn't have him on the game camera at all where I killed him. I was in a climbing stand. I shot with a muzzleloader. I killed him within 15 seconds of seeing him. And that's pretty lengthy. Usually it's
quicker than that.
It's quicker than that when you kill a big buck deer because he's getting away.
What else can you take away from? So you killed a big one last year. How much did it score? 164, 165?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Don't ever give up when you're hunting. Okay, you don't ever. Man, I've been out there. I've killed deer when it was so hot. I've killed deer when the wind was blowing limbs off of trees and stuff like that. And it's just, that's when it happens. And I've been in a tree for almost 4-something hours and I ain't seen nothing. And that morning I'd seen a couple and I'd moved, but he come by and I glimpsed him, deer. When I glimpsed him, horns. And next thing I glimpsed him, he walked out in the log road and I stopped him and poof, I pulled the trigger that quick. And all my buck deer that I kill are like that. They're not standing out in the opening. They're not looking at me like, okay, me and him both been blessed with going to other states. And it's not as hard up there. Arkansas is tough. These animals are wild.
Tell us about the Corps of Engineer deer.
The Corps of Engineer deer is above my head.
Right there.
Okay, and I killed him buffalo season again.
150 inches.
He's about 155, and kill him in the rain, muzzleloader, the black trash bag, wearing a blue rain suit, wearing my orange. Everybody else got to go out to our little stands. It's behind a piece of property that we own, but it's Corps of Engineers, so we got some lean-tos and things out there, and we move them around, and I just sit on the ground on the log, and I let all the kids and the girls and older people go out and get in the convenient things.
So probably the best takeaway from that is you hunted in the pouring down rain.
People wouldn't go. I hunted. When I got time off, I'm not staying in the camp. I'm not waking up late.
Well, the main thing is that what I done figured out that you figured out, or what I've learned that you done figured out, is you go at the right time of the year.
I go at the right time of the year because.
And when is that? So it's the muzzleloading season.
Well, the muzzleloading season is around the last week of October. It's around my birthday and stuff, and that's when all the fresh buck sign is usually out there. And another thing,
it's before the hunting pressure gets.
It's before the hunting pressure gets. I try not to be hunting pressure. I try to skip around because I'm fluent with the areas that I'm hunting. I'm not just a stranger to them. I do try to plug a new one in or two in every year.
You've showed me some good places up there.
Done that, and you've been successful with it too. But
so the deer that I killed this year, both of the deer I killed, like the one we talked about earlier, the one with my bow and the one with my muzzleloader, I had already killed deer in those places before.
Yeah.
So I didn't even go in there. I didn't even set foot in there. All I done was when the wind got right, I went in there and hunted. And one of the places is a ground set up. I just go in there and set against a tree.
Yeah.
I don't even get in a stand because number one, I'm between two thickets that's real close where some bottoms goes down, and it narrows up. And if you take a climber in there and climb up, you can't hardly do that without being undetected.
Well, and lots of times, like on the ground, it's a convenience because the climber heavy, and sometimes you just got to travel, get away from people. And
so his first deer, or the one this year, 1.72 miles from the nearest.
1.72 miles from a gate.
In there.
Yeah. That's how far I walked in. And it took a while to get him out. It was in the dark, and I debated whether to, clean him in the woods, but I ended up getting a little bit of help and with the dolly and gutting it and getting it, addressed or whatever. We got it out of there, and it was pretty lengthy, but it was well worth it. So
both of the deer I killed this year, if it wasn't for a dolly, I would have been out of luck. So both those deer was over 800 yards that I had to walk. You couldn't get no four-wheeler in there, no truck or nothing. So I mean, we're both going above and beyond. Not everybody, but a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people
get out there and get away from the crowd.
Big buck hunting thing is in the national forest. They're there. There's people not hunting them. They're dying of old age. I don't encounter hunters. Only during when they run dogs and things like that. I don't encounter people sitting out. I mean, I'm up there by myself.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
Yeah. So, I guess the biggest takeaways that I can say is your timing that you go up there. And you hunt. He hunts every day. I
never not go.
And some days he'll leave and he walks all day long. He might walk all day, 10 miles. Maybe not 10 miles off the road, but 10 miles.
Yeah.
8 or 10 miles just through the woods. And that's how you figure it out. I mean, that's how that's how you learn. You got to learn the land.
There's nothing better to be out there in the peaceful stuff like that. And guys. People say hunting's luck, and it is, but you have to really put a lot of seat time in. You got to really want to go, and I mean, everybody's going to get lucky on occasion to kill one. I was probably lucky when I killed my biggin this year, but I was out there for 9 days. The only day I didn't hunt was the last Saturday afternoon when I packed stuff up and went home. And I've been there and hunted that day and drove home in the dark, and I've killed deer. So, and there's deer stacked all the way around this room right here that we're not going to turn the camera on. But I prefer public land hunting due to the actually less hunting pressure.
Stay tuned and subscribe because I got some stuff coming up. We're going to have some stuff coming up. It's about to be fishing season. We're going to have a ton of fishing stuff. If you subscribe, you'll see all the stuff that's coming up.
We're going to catch some crappies, and I promise you we're not going to be using one of them big fancy graphs.
Well, don't promise that, because I got one on my truck.
You got one of them big fancy ones?
Yeah.
No, you don't. You got one of the ones that shows everything?
Yeah, I got it.
I ain't going with you. And I gotta let my line down, see how deep it is. I don't even
leave it under the deck.
Huh?
I'll leave it under the deck.
Yeah, just take it off.
I'll just put you in the back. So
I ain't doing that cheat stuff, Michael. That's cheating. That's kind of like running game cameras.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel, and you'll see what we got coming up. We're gonna be fishing. Turkey season's coming up. Fishing season's coming up, and we got more stuff coming your way. So stay tuned.
Sayonara.